Some of my absolute favorite items come from Crafter Square right here at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm Jamie, the Crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. So for this first DIY, we're going to take this blank that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I've had this for a little while. I also have this fantastic stencil. This is a transfer that I picked up from Couture, and I've had this in my stash for a little while since I went to the Pinners Conference. And I'm going to go ahead and do something here called fuzzing, and this is just kind of getting your stencil prepared or your transfer prepared so you can kind of put it right onto your surface. This is the groovy Florals one, in case you are wondering. Now I'm going to also use some of their chalk paste, and what's great about the chalk paste is that if you do want to buy just individual colors to try them out, or maybe for budgetary reasons, that's what you kind of need to do at first, you can certainly do that, but then you can also buy larger jars of the chalk paste as well. So I'm going to use this particular color because this is a gift that I'm giving to a friend of mine. Now I'm going to speed up this footage, but basically what you're doing is you're putting your chalk paste on almost like you're spreading butter. Just think about it like you're literally spreading butter, and you can see that the little mesh screen that kind of is kind of built into these transfers there. They're little tiny screens, and what they're doing is they are allowing that paste to just go into that stencil, and it's really beautiful. And what's great about this too is that if you do end up going a little too heavy with it, you can kind of reverse your little spatula there, and you can kind of peel that away and take off some of that paint. So the great thing also about these transfers is that they are, first, I mean, look how gorgeous that is, but you can also clean these and reuse these. Just use some lukewarm water and a sponge, wipe it clean, and then you've got another one that you can work on. This is for my friend Stephanie's new home office. So for this next project, I'm going to use a Dollar Tree blank that is pretty popular. You guys have seen these kind of wood slices, and they have this piece of twine that's kind of on there. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the staples from that as well. And we're going to go ahead and use this wood round. Of course, you want to go ahead and remove that backing on there too. If you plan on painting on both sides of it, then you definitely want to. This is another transfer from Couture, and since I've got this great peony color that's left over, we're going to go ahead and use that as well. Now this kind of prep that you do, once again, this is called fuzzing, and you just go ahead and do this to prep your stencils and then or your transfers, and then you go ahead and just take them and smooth them down onto your surface, and then you start spreading that chalk paste again just like it is butter, and just kind of filling in that stencil area, that transfer area. What I really do love about these is that they are super easy to use. They are reusable. Now, I am still learning, so for those Chalk Couture professionals out there, please feel free to give me some comments and some critiques. You guys can send me an email. This is kind of a version of just kind of a vintagey feel is what I wanted to go for, and I really love the way that this looks, and this is also going to be given to my friend Stephanie. Now, Dollar Tree also has some really cool stick-ons. I call them stick-ons, like rub-on transfers and stickers and iron-ons and different things that you can also use on other Dollar Tree blanks. And that is what this one is all about. Now, you've got these amazing transfers, and these are rub-on transfers, and I did make sure that these were rub-on transfers and not iron-ons like I did in my last video. So what's really cool about the rub-on transfers is that you can use them on just about any kind of surface, and these metal tags are a great example of this. Now, I thought that these would actually be really cute to maybe include in like a housewarming gift or something for somebody. I'm kind of working with my neighborhood association and going to be working on doing some sponsored like welcome baskets when new neighbors move in, and I'm trying to think of different ways and fun ideas to just kind of personalize some things. And these rub-on transfers, as you can see, you can obviously cut them, you can trim them down to make them fit better on your tags. And what I like about them too is that if you wanted to personalize them on one side, maybe if you're a local realtor like myself, I could put my business card or something on the back of them. I could use my Glowforge to even engrave that if I wanted to. I could use rub-on transfers and put my name on the back, or I could just simply sign it with like a Sharpie pen or something. All you have to do is use your fingers a lot of times with these rub-on transfers, but I do like to use like a blunt end of either a pen or, like in my case here, I'm using my Cricut tool for this. You can do a lot of different things with these, and what's so cool about them too is that you could very simply add twine to them like I did here, or you could even take these and put some beautiful beads on them. There's so many fun custom ways that you can do these. These little journals are so much fun. They're kind of like a pleather, and you can find them at Dollar Tree, but they actually have writing on the kind of one side of them. But what is really cool about these is that the paper is just blank on the inside. So you could just flip this over, and then you've got a whole other surface that you can start working on if you wanted to create something custom. Now, of course, you could overlap that other thing that you saw in the front. You could probably even try and remove it with like some nail polish remover or something like that, but I'm not even going to worry about that because this one is all for me. I love these star stickers that you can get from Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section again, and the notebooks, by the way, are in like the kind of where the school supplies and the journals and different things are. They were $1.25 each, so this project is like, what, $2.50. Just go ahead and personalize your journal, and then you've got a bunch of really cool, beautiful looking things, and then you've got custom beautiful pages that you can write and make your lists and to-dos and everything else. And when somebody comments on how much they love your journal, you can say, you made it. These are really, really cool shapes, and I love these Crafter Square houses. They're so much fun to use for so many different fun things. The twine on them it's quite aggressive, by the way, on this one anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave those staples on the back because they were intended to be there. Now, this rub-on transfer was really fun. Of course, I love the shades of blue and everything, but I was a little kind of intimidated at first, and then I thought, why not use this entire transfer on this beautiful piece of wood, and that beautiful wood tone with that beautiful transfer on the back. Now, I did try using my kind of roller here to see if this would kind of help, and it definitely did. However, it was a good idea for me to go back through and kind of use a blunt object again. Again, this could be a pen, this could be the back of, like, I've even used the back of my scissors sometimes when I can't find my tools. If you can pick up any of those kind of faux Cricut tools that they have at Dollar Tree, I highly recommend you grab those because you can use them for all kinds of things, even if you don't have a vinyl cutting machine. Now, go ahead and just kind of peel away your transfer very slowly. That way you can kind of, fix any other leaves or anything that might be coming off. And that's exactly what I did here. And you'll see that there is some, you probably are noticing it there at the top, there's some of that rub-on transfer that is still there because the sheet that I used or the house that I used, I guess, is not as big as the sheet itself. So very kind of slowly go through and keep removing that. But then for those kind of leftover pieces, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of touch up the little corners of the house that did not get a rub-on transfer on them because it wasn't quite wide enough to go ahead and cover that whole area. And what I love about this is that there's so many fun things that you can do with it from this point. You could definitely seal this with some Mod Podge or something to make sure that these stay on. But what I also think is super cool about this is that you could add a beautiful ribbon or something on the back. You could decoupage maybe even a family photo. I even think it's kind of beautiful like this, although I do wish I had a different ribbon. What do you guys think? I was thinking like a very soft kind of blue ribbon would be really beautiful on this one. So when I went to the Pinners Conference, you guys saw this if you saw my Pinners Conference recap video. This was one of the signs that I made during the Chalk Couture classroom that I took, or the class that I took. So I had this rattan, it's a, what do you call it, a placemat, that's what it is, Jamie. And I took some hot glue and just put it on the back of it. Y'all, my new glue gun is coming in very soon, and it is from Ryobi, and I am going to be so excited to be able to retire this little Shorebonder glue gun. He has been kicking butt as much as he can, but he's getting old and it's time for him to retire. I'm going to take my porch sign here and I'm just going to glue it down onto that rattan placemat because I wanted just a little bit of pop of something, out on my front porch. And then what I did with this is I also took some black beads. Again, my tip, if you are getting any kind of wood bead garland at Christmas time, when it goes on sale for the Christmas clearances and the end of season and all that, grab as many different colors as you can, because then you don't have to paint wood beads. It is probably one of the best hacks that I've done. I buy them in every single color, even if it's a color I think I'm not going to use. Believe me, it's so much better than spray painting or trying to paint individual beads. Now, I did go ahead and just take a long piece of twine there, and we're going to tie it on each corner of the placemat there. And what I'm going to do is just kind of tighten it around. That way you don't even kind of see that twine at all, and it's just going to be beautiful. And of course, look how gorgeous it is on my front porch. I really, really love this one, and I've already had a neighbor try and steal it from me. Now, this next DIY, this is also going to be for my friend who's got her brand new home office. She's got a virtual job now, and she's trying to set up the perfect little home office. And I told her I would create some little custom accessories for her. So I've got these little jars that I picked up from Dollar Tree. They're in the kind of where the sand and surf or whatever the nautical line is that they carry at Dollar Tree now. And this little stencil actually came from one of my new friends that I met over at the Pinners Conference. So thank you very much for this one. I'm going to go ahead and I just kind of fuzz that one, and then we're going to use that peony color again. She loves pink, and I just happen to have a lot of this pink around, so guess what? I'm using the pink. Now, I will say it probably would have been better with a darker color. When you see kind of the final results, you'll kind of understand what I mean here. But it's her favorite color, and that's really what matters ultimately. So go ahead once again, spread your chalk paste out just like you are spreading butter. Obviously, I like a lot of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and also remove some of that butter. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about Chalk Couture. And then if I did happen to mess this up, which you can beautifully see here that I did not, I could wash this away and completely redo this. But I thought this would just be a little cute accessory for her desk. I love it. Now, this next DIY incorporates one of these kind of tin-looking or galvanized metal-looking flower pots that you can get from Dollar Tree. What's really cool about them is that you can obviously use any kind of stencil to kind of paint these, or if you happen to be a very good painter, which I am not, then you can also freehand any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove the packaging from this, and then we're going to go ahead and fuzz this once again, and that just kind of helps get your transfer or your stencil kind of adhered to whatever you're working on. And I'm using this transfer set that I have that has like 4 different floral patterns to it, and I believe it's called it's Floral. It will be linked below. But again, just taking that chalk paste, this is a teal color that I'm going to be using. And again, thinking about another neighbor of mine that does like teal, and she kind of has a little bit of a farmhouse vibe, and she likes to keep plants indoors. So I was thinking that this could be something that she would really, really enjoy. And you can see how the color is really, really beautiful. Now, since I do have 4 sides to this, I'm going to go ahead and put different florals on each side of this. And again, you're just kind of spreading that chalk paste out like you're spreading some butter and just getting these ready. And then you're doing the reveal. And remember, all of these you can save. But how beautiful is this? I thought that this just turned out so beautiful. Now, I am not a floral designer by any means, but I thought that this was really, really pretty. And I'm just going to be giving her the container anyway. Now, this is a fun blank that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. And I love this kind of wood, this faux wood that they're doing. Maybe it's real wood. I don't even know. I would be shocked if it was real wood, but you know, Dollar Tree's been surprising me lately for the 25-cent increase that we're seeing, at least in my stores anyway. I know that some of them are going to be going up, but anyway, check out this amazing kind of transfer set. And what's really cool about this is that you can kind of trim out what you want of this one. And I really loved this saying, and I thought that this would be really, really beautiful. And what I'm planning to do with this is, after I kind of have this painted, this is for me, by the way. I'm going to actually put this in my garden, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this down with a water sealant. That way it protects not only the wood, but also the paint. And I'm going to take a very simple metal garden hook that you can get from Dollar Tree in the kind of garden area, you know, where your pots and different things are. And I'm going to put this out in the garden but how beautiful is this? I love what it says here, and I can only imagine this hanging out in a garden. I think that this would just be so beautiful and so sweet, and such a fun personal touch that nobody else is going to have. And I bet you could even sell these at a craft fair if you wanted to. Now, I've had this little toolbox from probably, I think it came from Dollar Spot, Target's like Dollar Spot, for over a year, my stash. And I've been trying to figure out something to do with it. So I finally decided that I was going to do something because it's a cool blank. I took it outside and I spray painted it this great green color. This is a green color from Rust-Oleum. And I'm going to use this Grow Your Own Way transfer on the front of this. And just keep in mind with this video in general, you know, any kind of transfers or stencils that you're going to find, whether they're Chalk Couture or whether they're from Target or whether they're from Dollar Tree, there's so much fun, creative things that you can do with it, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Now, I'm taking that chalk paste again, and as you can see, I'm using it in a white color, and I'm putting a lot of butter on mine, but it worked out really beautifully the way it looks right now. I almost kept it this way, but then I decided why not go ahead and add some trim to it. So I took that transfer sheet that I had and I just kind of trimmed off some of the floral pieces that I thought would be really beautiful on this, and I added it to that, and then I did it on the bottom as well. And again, I put, you know, lots of butter. Remember, we're spreading it like butter, and then I'm going through and also removing some of that butter. Now, the only thing that I did do is I did go a little heavy on this, and you can kind of see like at the top there and kind of on the upper like right hand side there where some of the overpaint kind of spread past the stencil. Now, I could very easily go in there and clean that up. I could take a little, you know, a little cloth or something and just kind of wipe that away very slowly, probably even like a little Q-tip. Instead, I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to kind of give this a vintage kind of patina because this green is bright, and, you know, if you're going to be putting this out in your garden or something, again, seal it with some water sealant. But I'm just kind of aging this a little bit, and I did this on all sides and all corners, and then just kind of wiped across the front of it too, just to give it this really cool kind of aged patina. And I love the way that this turned out. I think this is going to be really cute in somebody's house. I don't know who I'm going to be gifting this one to yet, but I really do love it.